Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Planet Coaster. Today, well, as you will have seen in the time-lapse, today we're doing something that is to do with a roller coaster. I figure it's probably about time that I respond to the most requested thing for this park. And not just for this park, but for Pirate Valley as well, which, if you don't know, is the Let's Build series I'm doing in Planet Coaster. People want me to build a dark ride, and a dark ride is basically a roller coaster that's sort of in the dark. And I kind of have an idea for it. I want it to blend in with the style we have going on over here with this building right here, you know, the sort of stone and wood combo and all that stuff. And I want it to look kind of good. So I've put down a base of stone. I have used the blue roof tiles that people don't generally like for the base, like the floor in here. I did that just because when it's covered over, that's going to appear really dark, and that was the point of that. But I've put down this base of stone, and around this hovering section over here, there's a pretty big section that's sort of hovering off the ground and comes out and around here. Eventually, it may be in this episode, it may not, I don't know, this is probably going to take a little while. But eventually, I'm going to build up some rocks sort of the way I did over here. But again, that's eventually. Something I do want to mention, though, with this episode is that you may or may not notice, depending on what way you tend to watch videos, that the option for 1080p 60 isn't there anymore. I'm not recording this in 60 FPS because the amount of stuff in the park is starting to cause the frame rate to dip a little bit. But what that does mean is I can up it to 2K, which is 1440p at 30 FPS. So if you have a 1440p monitor, feel free to watch it in that. Or if you have a 1080p monitor and an internet connection that can support it, it'll still look a little bit better in 2K. So, you know, that's an option if you're into that kind of thing. But I think what I would like to do with this coaster, I sort of have the idea that each section of straight tracks, so this bit and this bit and this bit here, are all, well, that bit's not as straight as some others. Those two bits, anyway, that bit and that bit, are sort of going to be transition-y tunnel things, so they're going to be really tightly packed, just really small tunnels, basically, that the train is going in a straight line through, spiraling through, doing whatever. Stuff like this, like spirals and where it goes, well, it does technically go upside down there, so that's a thing, but stuff like this is all going to be more like rooms, like spaces within which the sections of track can twist and turn. It's going to be lit up in interesting ways. It's going to have interesting stuff in it. For example, it would be really nice, although unlikely considering how big it is, it would be nice to get the Kraken in here, but as you can see, it's not really an option. It's a bit big. But what I could do, if I really wanted to, I could throw in a tentacle. Which, that's an interesting sentence. But I could, if I really wanted to, throw a tentacle into that space and sort of sink it into the ground a little bit. And we could have a flailing tentacle just sort of in the coaster there that sort of flicks about and does all that stuff. The problem is it gets really bloody tall. It also goes really close to that track, so maybe we don't want to do that. But I don't know. I kind of like the idea of using some stuff like that. A lot of people have wanted me to use the Kraken for Pirate Valley, but again, it's something that will happen eventually. It's just not going to happen right now. I guess I could technically throw the Kraken there. But this thing is more designed to be hidden in the terrain than anything else. It kind of comes up like that and roars. We'll see. We'll see what we do. I think what I want to do to begin with, though, is actually get back into construction mode on the building. And I want to lay out the basic shape for all of the rooms. So what I'm thinking is this space in here. That's the incorrect height for that wall. This space in here is gonna come across a bit like this. We'll bring this wall sort of over a little bit. And we'll bring it over one more. So this is kind of gonna be its own room, is what I'm thinking. So if we bring this over a little bit like that, I also need to be careful with how I do the outside walls. I guess this is going to be a pretty big building, so I can probably do a couple of layers of stone. So we'll do that. This, like I said, is going to be its own room, though, so we'll build up around this just a little bit, like so. I think it's going to be pretty much this entire edge of the building. So build around it just like that. And we'll bring it up to, I guess, about in line with the, okay, that's not in the right spot. We'll bring it to about, you know, in line with, this bit of wall over here. I think that can be, the nice sort of edge for the room there. Bring this up a little bit, go to there and there, put that on top and that on top. Then bring this over and down one, go to there, and do that. Now that seems fine to me. The coaster is going to be pretty much upside down in that spot, so I can probably get away with doing that. A little bit risky. But we can tweak it when we get a little bit further into the build. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. Basically, there's going to be like a tunnel here that you go through, then you drop into this room. I don't know what's going to be in that room, but we'll see. Although, I kind of like the idea that maybe we could do a bit of wall there and there. We could do a bit of wall there and there. These ones are probably going to be temporary, just because they are that same stone I've been using. But if I do that, I can sort of make a little sort of transitionary space here. So you do sort of go through a little tunnel before you get into the next room. I like the idea of using these little kind of tunnels to move the coaster, move the train from space to space. So let me get a little, get a roof on this, or I guess a sort of base on that, and then put one up there as well. So that and that work pretty nicely to border that space. And then this is also going to be its room. It's its own room, because I like the idea that you sort of come down here like this. I guess just straight across, like this way. I'll show. I keep saying this and then this and then this. I have the luxury of video. I can show you what I'm talking about. Let me move that down one. Let me put that there. That's going to need to go there, down. Okay, easy does it. So there, and there. So what okay, why is that one sank into the floor? That's odd. Yeah, basically this one's going to come across this way. A whole bunch. It's going to go a little bit further. I'm going to move it in one, and then move it along this way a little bit. So about there. Then I sort of want it to go, I guess, across that way, is what I'm thinking. The only issue is this bit of track here, which is going to be a pain. I guess technically the train is spiraling there, so you want to be giving it more space, so I guess we'll just leave it as it is. So I'll go to there. Can I squeeze that into there? Probably not. Yeah, that's going to be a no. Okay, can I get this section of wall? I can get the section of wall there, but that's dangerously close to the train. Oh boy. We'll figure this out. Let's, can I go there? I can go there. But again, that's going to be hit. The train is going to hit that. So we probably don't want to do that. Okay, so this is what we're looking at the moment. So the train goes up, drops down into this space here. It's actually a bit of a tight bend around there. I'm probably going to change that just a little bit. I might move the track. I might move the walls. Probably the walls. Comes into this space, sort of loops around. We haven't really blocked off any of this bit yet, but it's going to come around over this. You're not going to be able to see the train through there. It's probably going to be fairly isolated in its own space there. It's going to go through a bit of a tunnel. Then it drops into this space, goes out of that space, briefly into this one, and then into another sort of tunnel section. Comes into, I guess, this space quite briefly, which is, you know, the train is sort of technically revisiting where it started. But it comes into this space kind of briefly, goes into another space of its own there, which will sort of be the same space that it was in previously as well. So it comes... I'm trying to figure this out. It comes down around into this, its own space again, back into this one, back into this one, and then it ends there. So a lot of repeated spaces, basically, which is why I kind of like the idea of having a lot of open areas in here. Because that way we can basically have the trains, not the trains, we can just generally have the entire thing just, I can't delete that. What's the word I'm looking for? Basically, it makes it easier when it comes to designing, and it'll look cool. You know, I like the idea that you'd sort of, you're kind of revisiting spaces that you've already been into, so that's kind of what we're going for. But for the meantime, let's go ahead and start getting these wall sections in for the little tunnel here to block it off and sort of make it its own self-contained thing. So raise that to there. That's perfect. Then we'll do the same at the top all around like that. Okay, that actually looks pretty decent. It sort of comes through there. It's does its thing. I'm actually thinking I'm going to get rid of that little piece because it'll look better without it, which means I can raise that up one, I think. Yeah, I can raise that section of wall up a little bit, so we'll just do that, which again, to me, it just looks a little bit better. It's very square, but it's kind of nicely bordered. I think it does its job perfectly. So it comes into this space. It's going to be going through a tunnel section there. Okay, so can I get some wall sections just on top of this a little bit? Because it does start to raise up, but it is going to be sideways there, so that's actually okay. What I'd like to do is raise this up to there. Then do the same and sort of put it on that side. Gonna need to get rid of that section of wall there, which is a problem because that section of wall was there to hide the railing. So that's a bit of an issue, but we'll work with that. We'll delete that entire section of wall along there. We'll delete the lower section as well, because I know what I can replace that with. So we'll do that. We'll sort of get the same archway at this end, and really just hope that this ends up matching up. So that goes there. That goes there. Beautiful. Alright, that's actually working really well. Let's go ahead and flip this around, and then I want to lower it to there, and just copy it the whole way along that wall. Beautiful. Then on this side, we're going to pretty much do the same thing, just raise this up to it there, raise it, or just extend it the whole way across there, and then I think I will, I think I'll just do the same here, actually. I think I'll just continue that across. Alternatively, I guess I can make a little platform there. That could look kind of nice. What if I did this? It does mess with the design of the archway a little bit, is the problem. But I think that's probably necessary just to, I mean, one, for the platform, and two, to actually hide the railing that was going along there. So that looks fine. Hopefully it'll be going not necessarily fast enough, because I know this train, this coaster isn't actually all that fast. But hopefully you'll be going at a reasonable enough speed that you'll not really notice that the archway looks a bit weird. But there we go. That's a little platform in there. We can put some lights on that, or put some decorations on that. So it goes through this area briefly, into a tunnel again, out into this area briefly, which I'm really not sure how I'm going to separate at all. That is going to be a tricky one. Jeez, okay. I think this space over here, there's probably a really nice space here to separate the coaster. So let me go here. Let me bring this to that point and put one there as well. We'll do this. We'll do this. Then I guess the easiest way to make this look interesting could be to raise this up a little bit and sort of do that kind of thing. I think it would look nice. It's a little bit of different detailing just at the bottom there. We just need to duplicate the wall on this side. We could have actually went with these, the buttressed walls, because they will give it a bit more size just at the bottom there, making it look a little bit more reinforced, which is a good thing in this case. So we'll do that, and then just duplicate the walls on the other side, and add some of the roof pieces here to the top. Okay, this is actually starting to work a lot better than I actually thought it would, I'll be honest. So, once again, the coaster comes up, it drops down here, goes through this little archway, through that little archway. There's actually not a lot of space between those two sections of track, which is slightly concerning. Can I lower that one down a little bit? I can. It goes through that archway, goes through that tunneled space, out here, over that section of track, spins around here, then, again, there's, you know, not all finished, but comes up this way, it's going to come through a tunnel there, drop into this room, through a tunnel there, briefly into here, through this space, up and sort of over this space, through what I'm assuming is probably going to be an archway there. I actually wanted to see if I can just move that section of track a little bit, because that'll look a lot better. So it sort of goes up and over that. That looks like it might be a bit of a nightmare bend in the track, but I'm going to keep it, because that's kind of all I can do. But yeah, that's the coaster. That's how it's coming along. Let's actually do a little bit of building on camera, because thus far this episode, I assume, has mostly been time-lapse and not much else, which is not really what it's supposed to be. So I want to do a little, I want to do a little space here. So give me the half wall section for there and for there. Then I want to do... I'm tempted to do this up above. I'm tempted to use this piece. Just because it'll work quite nicely like that. The issue being it's off-center, which is a pretty major issue, actually. The only way to fix that really would be to double up this entire wall, which is doable. It's just a bit of a pain, really. So go to there, then just raise the wall up to there, and I guess we'll just double the whole thing up. That way I can, you know, have a nice big thick archway there. It'll look kind of cool. Plus, if I really want to, I could technically cut into it, get a little bit of detail just here and there. But I don't necessarily think we'll end up doing that. Let's just get the wall there. Give me the section of wall there. And give me the little half wall section there. Okay, so that sits up there quite nicely. I'm actually thinking it might be worth just getting rid of the entire section of original wall. Because that way... I mean, it wouldn't be doubled up. Wouldn't be the nicest archway in the world. But, that way we don't have that extra bit sort of sticking out on this side that we don't really know what to do with. Although, maybe I can work with that. Maybe I can work with that. We'll see. We'll see what I can do. Let me just get the little bit of roof trim there. Let me just chuck it in that space. And into that space. Okay, that looks kind of nice. I like that. I do. I definitely like that. I want to get some roof pieces on there. We're going to go with a wood platform again. So there and there for the wood platform, which is going to glitch out like crazy, but we really don't have much of a choice. Let's go to there and there. And we'll go one more for there and there. Okay. Then I guess we'll just drop the entire sort of wall section down. I realize I'm building all of this out of the brick that I said I wasn't going to use. That's probably okay, considering it's going to be quite dark in here. Yeah, that's probably something that's fine to do. You'll either not notice it, or at the last minute I'm going to have to go in and change all of it. But if I have to, then it's easy enough to do, considering the building is done. It's just changing the materials, really. So that's not going to be too difficult to do. Okay. So that drops into that section. I guess, technically, I could just continue this the whole way around, which would be easier than, you know, changing the heights drastically in here. I guess just continuing that around isn't really going to hurt. So yeah, something like that could be nice. As for the exterior, again, I think I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to build it all out of one material, then go back and change it. Just makes it easier for me to, you know, work on the interior design of this, which at this point is much more important anyway. We need to make sure this is an interesting experience for anyone that goes on this ride. So that's fine. I think what I'll actually do is I'm going to go to here. I'm going to just rotate this around a little bit. Bring it up to there, and I will actually have a little bit of a wall there, because I can put a light on that, and it'll look kind of cool. So that's the plan for that. Then the wood platforms are just going to go sort of the same there and there, there and there. Then I can just place them normally-ish. I guess I can just do this as well. Wait, are these going to fit in the building? No, they're not. Bugger. Alright, let me get rid of a bunch of those so I can work out where exactly the spacing of these is going to work properly. So it's this side, right? That's fine. So we'll do that. I think I will actually space those out properly so that they're not overlapping, because that is going to look a little bit weird, especially if I end up playing with lighting as much as I'm kind of planning to play with lighting. That is really going to just glitch out like crazy. So we'll do that kind of thing. We'll do that kind of thing. We'll do that kind of thing. Okay. That's fine for the time being. The roof here isn't actually going to be the roof that's on the final building. This is all just... Basically, think of it like this. I'm building the inside of the structure, and then the outside is going to be a shell with certain bits that are functional and certain bits that aren't. So I'm probably going to put toilets in here. I'm probably going to put some shops in here. And it's going to be... It's going to be interesting, to say the least. This building is enormous. It's kind of ridiculous, really, but it's coming together. Like, that's the cool thing with it. Like, this is taking a long time, just in general, but I am really happy with how it's coming together. So just to give you a rundown again, as I do, we go up, comes down this way. It's sort of going to go through that section of wall, through this little archway here, and through all of these as well, into this room and around, under that bit of track, into this mess of track supports, through this little arch, through that little bit of archway as well. There's probably going to be some more floor over here. It comes into this space, which isn't done yet, into this tunnel, then drops into this massive room, around all of that, through this little tunnel, into this room briefly, into this tunnel, up into this tunnel again. Like, it's a mess. It really is. But it's kind of cool. You know, it's kind of interesting to look at. Like, it goes down under all of that. I do need to get rid of these sections of wall, though, because those are really not supposed to be there. And just looking at that, I'm probably going to want to try and sink some of these sections of wall into the wall itself a little bit, like that. I know that kind of messes with my archway over there, but if I don't, it messes with this this tunnel there. In fact, that tunnel's going to get messed with regardless. Interesting. Okay, I'm maybe going to want to change that a little bit. I didn't actually notice that that was an issue, but I'm going to need to move the archway back a little bit, or move that tunnel. Probably the archway. I think the archway can go. Well, not go, but it can move, because it's sort of the thing that's causing the issues. So put it there. We'll move that one to there. Then I want to duplicate those. Raise this one up a little bit. Bring it closer. Go there. Rotate. Go there. I said go there. Lower it down and go to there. Interesting. I just noticed that one actually sticks into that bit of wall. That, again, slightly complicates things. I don't know if that would be the most noticeable thing, but I guess technically I could just double up all of that wall. That's a thing I should... that would be kind of the easiest fix, rather than trying to remodel this entire thing, so... I guess I'm doubling up the wall, because I kind of need to for this space over here anyway, so let's double up the wall. Great. Let's go across here. Go to there, go to there. Seems fine. Then we want to go to there and there. Or do we? Can I make that work with this type of wall? I feel like I probably can. Yeah, that actually looks better to me. I like that. Let's do it just not like that. Lower it down. Let's go the whole way across there. Oh, I can't do it that bit. Okay. Well, we'll figure that out in a second. Go to there and go to there. Okay, so why can't we get the thicker section of wall there? It's because the track is actually going through the wall. Fair enough. Debug, edit the track. Let me raise it up a little. Let me turn off angle snapping first, because that way I can move it up very subtly. So up just a little bit like that. And that should be fine. Like, that really shouldn't be an issue. Let me go ahead and get the section of wall. Rotate it this way, lower it down. There we go. Alright, so we doubled up that whole bit of wall, which actually does help. Good. Right, so I guess we'll continue across with that entire section. Go like that. Which is a bit odd at the end there. I might be able to make that work though if I sort of rotate the wall, bring it up through a little bit. And sort of do that kind of thing. Like, I can't really double it up properly. So it is going to have to be that and that. But that looks okay to me. That looks fine. Nice. It's sort of, it all matches together quite nicely. So that's good. Okay. Now we just need to work out how this is going to work here. This large sort of drop. Because I kind of have the idea that that's going to be sort of within a tower sort of thing up there. But I don't know. Let's first off come into this space, because we do need to put some of the roof wood platforms onto this. So we'll raise that up to there. That archway might actually be a little bit low. That one there. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm actually fairly... Is that a bit low? Yeah, it is. We should probably raise those archways up a little bit. And the track as well, apparently, because it's having issues too. So lower that to there and there. And then just, I guess, delete the art. Well, that's going to be a problem though, isn't it? That is going to be a bit of it. Well, I guess just raise the track slightly. I really don't know here. I'm really not sure what way to best work this. I think a slight raise of the track might be the best thing to do. Let me turn off the angle snapping. Let me just raise the track slightly. Oh, that seems really dangerous. Really seems like they're going to hit that post, doesn't it? I guess I will, I'll deal with the fine-tuning once the majority of the building is done. Can I put that in there? Okay, easy does it. Let me just slap it there, move it to there, lower it down one. There we go. Okay, so that is most of the building done. Like, I've got to put up the walls around all of this, but that's most of the, that is most of the kind of the layout done. Like, that's all the tunnels in place. That's most of the rooms in place. So this is good. This is coming together. Surprisingly, this is actually coming together. I didn't really think it would. Right, now we're so close to having a finished design on this. I think it's only fair that I actually ride this coaster at this point, because I really don't know how much of it's going to work, and I don't know how much of it's a complete mess, so I'm curious to see. I'm going to add a train. I'm wanting to, I'd like to view the train as well at some point, but we'll see. I want to start. I said I want to start. There we go. I want to go to ride camera. I want to go to first person. And I'm curious to see just how well this ends up working. I really am. So it goes up and then it immediately, more or less, drops into here. We haven't clipped through anything yet, which is good. This is also my first time riding this, I want to point. Okay, so you get clobbered there and clobbered there. You also get slightly clobbered there. That's fine. You go through this tunnel and drop into another area, which is fine. Haven't been clobbered again just yet. Then you... Okay, clobbered. You go slowly upside down through that section. Keep in mind, this is also all going to be really bloody dark. Quite slowly around... Well, a little bit speed there, that's fine. You slowly come up through there. You probably clobbered. You would have your arm ripped off if it was in the air, so that's not the safest thing. Definitely not the most exciting roller coaster. I'll give it that. But that said, it's more about the experience of a dark ride than it is about being an incredibly exciting roller coaster. So I'm kind of okay with the fact that it's not the most exciting thing. So I want to put some roof pieces on there. So now the entire exit section's covered. I'm pretty sure the entrance is also pretty much covered up as well if I go down here. Yep. Okay, that's fine. It is a huge building. Like, it really is. It's a bloody enormous building thus far. But I kind of like that. I think we could do something really interesting with this. I am absolutely gonna, at some point, work on the design and put the wood in there, and it's not just gonna be this big stone monster of a building. But, you know, that's something to do at some point. I think I want to do a little bit more work on this. I definitely do. I want to, like, before we end this episode, because I realize, like, this is progress. I think what I want to do, within this episode at least, is I want to basically completely enclose this thing. Then in the next episode, we can do all the detailing of the interior and exterior of the building, as well as put in the various facilities, because I like the idea that we can use some of the spare space on this and build off of it a little bit, build into it a little bit, chisel bits out, add bits on, and just make it look like less of a brick. And add different, you know, features, have some walkways up here where people can walk along to go to toilets and shops and stuff like that. And to be honest, if I really wanted to, I could build a section, like, back here where we can put a flat ride on the ceiling or something, which could look ridiculous. I mean, we have got rides like, we've got Sky Ace, which we could throw in if we really wanted to. I could add the hammer swing to the ceiling of the thing if I really want to go ridiculous. Like, there are rides I could stick on the roof of the dark ride, which could be hilarious. Of course, if I put them on the roof, you're going to get that through the building, so it would need to be in its own space. But it's doable. It's totally a thing that can be done. So, what I think I'll do, I mean, this is all within its own enclosed space. That can have a roof put on it. That can have a roof put on it. That can. The only bit that I really can't put a roof on right now is the rise. So let's edit the building. Let's go to roof pieces, and I guess we'll get started with putting a bunch of these all over the thing. It's a lengthy process. Like, I've been building this for a while. I've been recording, like, this commentary section for a while. The time-lapse took a bit of time as well. I watched an entire panel from GDC whilst building what you saw in the time-lapse. I think it was a panel from Psyonix talking about Rocket League, so there you go. That was the thing I watched. But yeah, that was like 67 minutes long. That's how long it took me to do the base bit. And I've now been recording this bit for 69 minutes. So yeah, bit of a lengthy one, but I'm okay with it. Because it's going to end up looking really interesting. Hopefully. Hopefully this building doesn't end up looking like a huge bloody brick. But we'll see. We will certainly see. And so the entire thing was closed up, and it now looks like this, which is bloody ridiculous. That said, I'm curious to see how this looks when we ride it at the moment, because it's gonna look silly, but also kind of cool. So let's hit play. Let's start the coaster. Let's get into the seat cam. Keep in mind, I've just covered it. I haven't actually done detailing. I haven't finished the interior, but the entire thing is currently covered up. So we come around into here. Oh yeah, this is going to look really interesting. Keep in mind it's also sunset, and the lighting is not being completely blocked out by the walls of the building. And also that, again, there will be stuff in all of these spaces. But this is kind of cool. I like this. I do think this is going to be a really interesting coaster when it's finished. Because you have all these twists and turns, all these archways, all these kind of open spaces to put lighting and... Like, I want to put trees in here, I want to put rocks in here. I just think that could be kind of cool. Just having all those different things. Like, one room can have a bunch of trees in it, one room can have, like, I don't know, a tentacle in it, because why not? We'll put a tentacle in the corner or something. But yeah, I like the idea that each room is going to have a different sort of theme going on, basically. I think that could be kind of fun. And again, we're going to have all the buildings and stuff, all the little substructures to this, just here and there. But yeah, there's people queuing up for it already. I wasn't aware it was open, but sure. That's fine. You guys all have a good time on the unfinished dark ride, which is now well and truly dark on the inside. Good lord, that would be terrifying. I can't say I'd be the biggest fan of this. I mean, as we've mentioned before, as we've talked about, I'm not the biggest fan of roller coasters, so yeah. Yeah, that would be terrifying. Anyway, folks, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. We will absolutely finish this ride in the next episode. We will absolutely finish that building. It needs a lot of detail, because it currently is just this looming box, which I think is hilarious looking. But I'm definitely curious to see what we can do with this. I like the idea of sort of building the rocks up a little bit higher around this, so maybe sort of bringing rocks up. Okay, my camera's glitching out. Alright, thanks for that, camera. Yeah, where were we? I like the idea of bringing some rocks up sort of around and over the building just a little bit on this side. Maybe not, we'll see. Probably a little bit on the back rather than the side. But there's lots of details on this. I like the idea that maybe we would stick a, if we could have wall signs, we could get a giant Planet Coaster sign on the side of this if we really wanted to. We could go for one of those ones instead, so something like that could look really interesting on the side of this building if we can just get it to sort of go nice and straight like that. This isn't going to be final or anything, but we'll just chuck it on there for a second so we can get a bit of an idea of what it would look like. So just rotate it a little bit like that, I guess. So it would look a little bit like that up there, which could look kind of cool. We could chuck one of the rounded Planet Coaster signs sort of on top of the building a little bit like that if we really wanted to. Like there's things we can do with signs, and we can just make it look really interesting. A lot of these kind of signs can go on the outside of the building if we also really want them to, which I kind of think I really want them to. And if we go to scenery as well, we obviously have the large sort of standing, freestanding Planet Coaster signs, so that one would probably make a lot more sense on a building like this, so something like that, I guess. Oh yeah, that looks kind of cool. We also have like these ones, the ones that have like a roller coaster in them. We have that one, which I actually really enjoy. I think that one's kind of cool. That one's not bad. Isn't there another one? It's the gold logo sign. We have the scrolling neon one. Oh, I forgot that was a thing. That's actually, yeah, I think that one would totally go on top of this building or like beside this building or something. I don't know. But whatever the case, I am going to leave it there for today. We have this ridiculous structure to deal with. We'll figure out a way to make this work in the next episode. We'll do all the detailing, all the lighting, all the interiors, and all that stuff in the next episode. So thank you kindly for watching. This has been Planet Coaster. and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.